7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The most outstanding song to start this. I mean, it's close to 2001 without getting
going over,
without getting struck for copyright violation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see. Well, greetings all. I'm New York Pete. I'm the co-host of Interfleet Broadcasting. I'm here with my best friend Chris, also known as the Tipsy Toaster. And we want to thank you for stopping by and joining us on our news, pop culture, sci-fi entertainment channel. Full disclosure, Chris and I we grew up watching 70s and 80s, TV movies, comics, cartoons, and we're big Battlestar Galactica fans, full franchise, but special place in our hearts for the original, of course. So welcome to our corner of the universe, and here we are, and we're gonna jump in. We have some great guests that are with us right now, without too many technical issues. So they're
okay.
we're gonna have that happen in about a minute or two. However, Chris Tucker and Paul Rotter and Sean and Jonan, hey, how are you, man? Scott and Bert Oliver, and let's see who else. Chuck Davenport. Chris Tucker, George Kumas in the house, Dave Francoeur, guys, Chuck, yes, Chuck. And hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. As you pop on, I always like to, send out a quick thank you for joining us live. Appreciate you. I know, hey, Rob Baum, our unofficial fact checker, is with us, and the rest. So very, very cool. Lola, yes, you made it. Absolutely. Thank you, Lola. I'm glad you're here with us. So that's great. And we got a bunch of stuff. You got to see what Chris picked up. We kind of tag teamed it a little bit. And hey, Susan, what's up? Thanks for joining us. We reached out to a fellow Battlestar Galactica fan, and he was looking to find a home for a particular
very special item.
Yes, that he had made, I don't know how many years ago, 30, 40 years ago, around that.
Yeah.
Around that. So we reached out to him, and Chris got it. And you guys are going to flip out because it's unique. I believe he only made one, right,
Yep.
Chris?
That's
He
true.
only made one. Yeah, so that's incredible. I picked up a couple of odds and ends too that were just floating around, and I thought it'd be really cool to add to the world of IFB and the big world of collecting, so that I could share with you guys. Hey, Fran, hail to the IFB dudes. Hail back to you, Superfan Fran. Thanks for joining us. Kim is with us. Kim Harms, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Hello, Fleet, Mediocre Modeler, man. Doing all kinds of cool stuff over on Mediocre Modeler's channel. Charlene Donatello, what's up, Charlene, from Battlestar Saturn. Lola, of course, is part of Battlestar Saturn as well. And the Colonial Warriors. So thank you guys for joining. I wanted to give everybody a quick update on the Shadowed Circle, right? So if you remember, we had Steve Nelson and Tim King was on, and so I have actually sent my choices. If I was going to a deserted island, what 7 shadow items or books or publications would I take with me? So that's for the article I sent up with a couple of sentences on each, and I hope that I have made the cut, and that'll be in one of the future publications that have come out with that. And I'm so looking forward to it, since you guys know I'm a big Shadow fan. And yeah, so all good stuff going on. There's a couple of local conventions that are very quickly coming up. One in particular is called WinterCon, and we're hoping to
Where's that one at? That's in
that one's
Jersey, isn't it?
it's in New York. No, it's in New York. It's in
York.
Queens, New York. Yeah, it's near JFK. And John One and I will probably go to that. We've been to it last year. Been going to it for a couple of years. Actually, I don't know if I've actually missed one since they started. And that's it's a nice medium size, if not small size convention, and it's great. It's super packed, full of great celebrities. And usually when we go to that, we kind of make connections and set up interviews, and we'll give you a photo review of that convention. Big picture, we're doing Awesome Con. Shore Leave is coming up, and Farpoint both have secured their new facilities. And Shore Leave looks like we probably will be attending Shore Leave. So Chris and I, will work on the logistics of getting to that. That's next or this summer coming up. So it's going to be, I believe, in Lancaster.
And we're still working on getting a conjoined, is that right word? Conjoined booth.
Yes,
at Awesome Con with
CMOD.
CMOD.
Yeah, so that's going to be fantastic. And of course, the expectation is that, fingers crossed, that by then we will also have the Stranded Warrior finished.
Yes.
So
Fingers
we
crossed.
are, and
We're working on it.
We are working on it. We are working on it.
We're getting ready to send out actually, we're getting ready to order the jackets for those who have.
Yes, hoodies.
Part of the hoodies, yep.
Yep, hoodies. So that order, that special order.
Close by? I have mine somewhere. Mine's around the corner. I can get it later.
Yeah, so we are. So we got that going. So the hoodies are special order. So we're getting ready to get those out. I believe the Stranded Warrior helmet that we had made
should be
by
going out not
is,
this week, next week.
Is going out to our co-producer, Mr. Doug Henry, and we're so also, I guess, the joystick will be going back to Mediocre Modeler.
Mediocre told me to keep it, so I don't know what we're going to do with that. We'll have to go back and forth with him. He's making a new one, he said. So, yeah. Although he's had run into problems, so maybe we can give it back to him.
I think we should just put it in a box and send it back. And then when you see him in person, if he wants to give it to you, he can give it to you in person. So
yeah, hey, there you go.
Yeah,
ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Ta-da! Here's the hoodie. So we have. Yep. There you go. So it'll say the Stranded Warrior movie crew, and then on the bottom of it, it'll say whatever the perk was. That there's 7 of you guys out there. So yeah, depending on what it was, you will have yours made, and it's all to order. They are really, really cool. And yeah, I have Kim, I got your size. You're good to go. I got your size, and I have your I believe the address is included on that email. But if I can look that up.
Hang on, wait.
We know where you live.
That's right. We do. We honestly do. But I can tell you, because I can pull that right up. I was like collating all this information, finally getting to.
Don't tell everybody where they live.
I'm going to tell them exactly where they live. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, by the way, you guys can look up your credits. The thank yous are on IMDb.
Thanks to Pete. Thank you, Pete, for doing all that.
Yep, so
it's a lot of work.
They're all in IMDb because they will be published at the end, in the end credits of The Stranded Warrior. That's the only way that they will allow the thank yous. They went in and they purged any project that was just giving people thank you and not actually publishing it in the credits of the final released project, whatever film it is, big, small, indie, fan film. But if it's IMDb related, the only way that they will accept those thank yous is if it's in the credits. And everybody, all of you guys that supported, your names will appear in the thank you credits. And now that is reflected in IMDb. So we're very
You
proud of
all
that
now
accomplishment.
have an IMDb page.
Yep, you're now in there. So well, let's see. I wanted to make sure that I have. Let's see. So Doug, yes, Mr. Douglas Henry, co-producer. Brigitte Nauder is an associate producer. Kim Harms, supporter. Fran, supporter. John, supporter. Alan, supporter. Susan, supporter. That's what it'll say at the very bottom of on the back of the hoodie. And I do have all your sizes, so not to worry. And I have your addresses. So that is rock and roll. Chris will put out the special order, and once he gets those, they'll drop ship those to me, and I will be mailing those out. And if at all possible, we may try to add in some of the autograph material, but I don't think so. I think we're going to end up sending that separate because we don't want that to get all kind of messed up. So it's happening. Is there a supporter named Jacques? I don't know. I closed off the list, Mr. Baum, so I don't know off the top of my head. It's been a while. Mediocre model. Make the joystick a giveaway to someone in the fleet. I'm printing a nice shelf base for it. Whoa, my God. We should have a raffle of our charity raffle or something. So we should do that. That's
Rob said that was a joke, by the way.
You mean so is it like Jacques Cousteau? No, Jacques Cousteau is not he's not getting a thank you, but it would be cool if it was. No Jacques. But yeah, so guys, let's do the thank you, right? We want to thank everybody.
So we always so what do you got tonight there, Pete? I know
I happen to have just it's a pumpkin latte. So
that's this time of year, buddy. It's that.
That's right.
It's that time of year. Read what is anything special written on it or anything? Is it where's it from?
Aleworks Brewing Company, and spiced amber ale brewed with coffee, contains lactose. Oh boy. And let's see. It's 7.3% by volume, which is a pint. So this is going to be heavy duty, and it's from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Damn right.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Oof. Yeah.
Hey, I am cheating it out today a little bit. I have a Sierra Nevada IPA called Hop Hunter with distilled hop oil. I don't know if you ever heard of hop oil before, but this is 6.2% by volume. Hop Hunter uses pure, powerful hop oil drawn directly from the... Oh, boy. I'm going to mess that word up. Skip that one. Inside
just English.
whole cones for the extra blast of flavor, turning this hop bounty into a beautiful IPA experience.
Very good. I'm drinking out of my Apollo glass. Pam.
I have Midtown Comics.
Good day, Chris Laskowski from Australia. Thank you for tuning in. And we're about to toast, so let's do it.
Let's do it.
1,
two,
2, 3.
three.
Oh, yes. And it went all over the keyboard.
I had that one the other day.
Yeah, but I'm holding the record.
I shook that one from afar. It was the Cylon influence on that bottle there.
And this is my new keyboard, too. So
not anymore. You have now christened that keyboard.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, are you ready?
I am ready. Yes.
Let's see what this looks like here. Ready?
Okay. Good God.
Yeah, hold it up. I got to see it. Oh, we're clear. Oh, it's kind of a dark. Not as black as my Silent Soul. Oh, that's a good color there, Pete.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. It's like cream soda. That's all I think of when I see this. I think of cream soda.
So this has hop oil in it, so it should lubricate my joints pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Now, if we could only get an actual sponsor from one of these beer companies, then we'd be really set.
Or an actual sponsor from one of these glass companies.
Yeah, no kidding.
Midtown Comics, New York. Buy all your comics at Midtown Comics. Midtown Comics, located in downtown New York.
Free product placement. Enough. All right. So,
it'd be like the old movies where it had Pepsi things in the background somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're doing a good job of that anyway.
So here's to you, all of you. Thank you for joining us. We always like to, every week, we're here every Thursday, and we love to say thank you to the fans, and thank you for everybody who creates the fandoms, because you are what fuel the fleet. So thanks for all those people in front of the cameras, behind the cameras, writers, and publishers in this case, as we see tonight. So here's to you. We say, fans feel the fleet.
Fans feel the fleet, guys. Keep the faith. Oh my God. Okay. And
what? Oh my God. That's not that. Is that a?
It's like it's spicy and it has a weird aftertaste. And
mine is
it's
definitely hoppy.
Hoppy.
It makes me hoppy.
Yes, of course it does. Yeah, this has a very unique aftertaste, and it has a little bit of pumpkin, and it's just a little bizarre. But anyway.
A little coffee. I don't know. Coffee and beer. That one coffee beer, the Cockadoodle Brew, I'll never forget that one.
Yeah, this is a little.
That was bad.
It's too many different. I don't know. It's like fighting the different whatever they put in it is all fighting one with the other. The different. I don't know.
It's way too spicy. It's way too heavy. It needs to be a cider.
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I think
if it was
you're
a
right.
pumpkin ale cider, it would be perfect.
Spiced amber ale brewed with coffee.
So not only do you get drunk, but you get high.
It's just bad. It's just too much battling there. I don't know. You don't know if it's like trying to be pumpkin.
I can't believe yours is actually a higher percentage than mine is tonight. I mean, mine's only 6.2. Yours is 7 point something.
Why don't you put some brandy in it? You'll be fine.
All right, be right back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, so I don't know if he's actually doing that. I would. I'm not a betting man because if I was, I would say he's probably going to do that just to lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, he's making his way over to the wet bar and he's grabbing a couple of shots. He's going to just drop them right into that whatever the concoction is. But anyway, so yeah, guys, we are bringing back, as we had promised, when we went to AwesomeCon the last time. We had a booth. We had a really marvelous time, and you guys hopefully have seen. I mean, we've had a really good response with a lot of our videos and interviews, and we are now bringing back. Oh, of course, we're bringing back Golden Fleece, and they are a publishing company, and they do all types of genres. We had them on, and you drinking right from now? They're not supposed to do that, and so we have them with us, and we are.
Does that make us PG? Does that make us rated R now that I'm drank from an alcohol
bottle?
Oh,
I think so. Yes. So we're going to get into the hot and heavy of working out. Like what is it to actually get into a publishing house?
A lot of us have.
That work?
A lot of us have talked. Hey, I've got a book. I want to. I want to do this. I want to do. But.
Yep.
We really kind of never follow through sometimes in regards to how do we get there. So tonight, I guess we'll be able to talk to people who are able to get us there.
Yes.
People who are able to publish our book.
That's right. So let's have our guests on and let's talk about all the different genres that they're publishing and they were expanding. I'm sure they have a lot to tell us from last time.
Wrong button. Hang on.
Not quite a year ago. But it's out, it's getting there. It's been a while, and so it's
there we go.
Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us at Interfleet Broadcasting, and we had a great time at AwesomeCon. You were kind enough to come to the booth, and we did interviews that we have up on IFB, and you're back with us, and that's fantastic.
Thank you for having us.
Yay. So audio works. We're good. I can quit now.
Good. Oh well, yeah. You can go home. Go to sleep. Drink some more. Just go to sleep.
I'm done now. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
So I got my bottle. I'll curl up in the corner.
Yeah, which you do all the time anyway. So what's the big deal? Nothing new here. Nothing new.
I'll chew on my colonial crayons.
Yeah, and yes. So we last time we'd actually had our conversations, our interview. There was a talk of expanding the Golden Fleece library, and you guys were going to be taking on new authors and possibly expanding to new genres. So this is it, guys. Take an opportunity now between the two of you. You're here. Tell us your expertise and what you do in the company itself, and then expand it from there and tell us all about your publishing company.
Kate, do you want to start?
Nope, you start.
No.
You didn't flip a coin
How,
beforehand,
how did
so.
how did I know that I was going to start? All right. Well, I'll start with the new stuff because that's always
Cool.
more interesting. We have some new projects that are coming down the pipeline. One's an awesome con artist, and I'm going to get his name wrong because I get it wrong every time. But his first name is Dan, and he does amazing fandom inspired Star Trek, Babylon, all of that kind of stuff. Drawings, but he also does dinosaurs kind of in the real world. So he's actually writing a coffee table book that are a bunch of his different. And if you were at AwesomeCon and you wandered around, you probably noticed Dan's art because it's absolutely amazing. But he does dinosaurs like in suburbia. So he's doing a coffee table book where you get the amazing picture of a stegosaurus, munching somebody's front yard.
Nice.
And then a story to go along with that. So that's one of our bigger projects. And then we always have new children's projects in the works. They always take longer than we think they're going to take. So I'm not sure in the summer when we were at AwesomeCon what we thought was happening, but I'm sure none of it's as far along as we thought it was going to be at the moment, because that's what happens. So, so on the screen you can see our website. We have all of our titles that are available right now are available on the website. We have some really great children's authors for sort of a range of ages, starting at really little kid books that are really short and meant to be read to about a 2-year-old, sort of based on their ability to sit still and listen to a story. And then all the way up to older, sort of, that green one down at the bottom is my series, Tales of a Watch Cat. And those are sort of 60 pages long and written in the vein of Edgar Allan Poe. So they're for older kids.
Ooh. Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're Edgar Allan Poe stories retold for children set with animals.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah, don't ask
I'd
me.
say they're fun. They're a fun read no matter what age you're at, so.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is.
And
that's
also
a cool
don't ask
twist.
me what we did about the dead prostitutes because it's a children's book.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, that is cool. Now, so where, you must have actually, so you picked up the dinosaur book as a coffee table book. I remember that I did bring up the concept of maybe getting involved with graphic novels, and both of you, I think, were open to that idea. Did you get anybody, or did that go, are you involved with anything like that currently?
Off the top of my
haven't
head, I
found
don't
anything
think we've
yet.
gotten. Yeah, I don't think we've actually gotten a lot of submissions for graphic novels. We've been willing to do graphic because there's not actually a huge amount of layout difference between sort of a children's picture book and a graphic novel, right? They're both.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, they're both pictures and words on the page in a sort of finite amount of space. So we're definitely not averse to doing that, but it's just not been a thing that people have sent us a lot of yet.
Okay, but that still means that you're actually still open to, taking up a project if it's good enough. Then so guys, here it is. Here's a perfect opportunity. A graphic novel, an original graphic novel, and you guys are open to submission, and if it makes the mark, if you guys think that it's good enough, there is potential for something like that your publishing house would definitely pick that up. So that's incredible. What about sci-fi? Any science fiction in on the shelf that's yours?
Do you want to start
I
that
don't
one, Kate?
have any. Yeah, I'll take that one. Not necessarily hard sci-fi, but we do have Sugar and Spice, which is one of mine. That one is Near Earth Orbit story. It's basically a heist mystery
Ooh,
story in Near Earth Orbit. Um, we do have Brian Pagel, who does the first book of his is called Codes, and that's biopunk. So it's all about cloning and identity. And then there are several of the stories in his translated from the original Shark are also sci-fi. Um, Jules and I both end up sort of on the urban fantasy end as well. Jules does rural fantasy. Um, I tend more towards urban fantasy and
okay.
light horror. Obviously, we're open to those genres because they're genres that we read. Um, we also have a couple of more unusual books, I'll call them. Like
Ooh,
Tales from, translated from the original Shark, is a collection of 365 stories that were written a day at a time. And the first one starts with 365 words, and the last one is one word.
Oh,
oh
So
wow.
boy,
it's really
oh,
rare.
that is
And
cool.
then if you want, there's also endnotes that tell you a little bit more about what was happening during the time of the creation of those stories. So it's really sort of two books in one. One part's memoir, and one part is the stories and poems.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. I did want to ask about the covers. How do you guys get involved with that part of the book? Is it the author along with you or not, or how does that play? How do you come up with, because that shark cover is pretty cool, right? If you're into something like that, it's like, oh my god, look, this is a shark book.
So I'll take that one since I'm the one who does most of our covers. And thank you. I'm super proud of the shark book because I that was the least painful part of the layout for that entire book was the cover. So most of our covers are in house. Obviously, the children's book covers tend to come with the artwork for the children's book, and that's maybe a separate conversation about whether or not you need to have artwork when you show up with a children's book. You don't. We'll find an illustrator if we need to. Um, so for the children's books, the cover art is part of that whole situation. For adult books, for science fiction, fantasy, um, urban fantasy, all of that kind of stuff, we tend to try and pick a cover that's created in house that matches the feel of the book. So obviously, authors get some say in that, probably more say than they necessarily get in other places in publishing. I've published with other houses, and generally the way that works is they send you a cover, and I mean, you can tell them you don't like it, but it won't matter.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay. Wow.
Whereas we're more willing to maybe have a discussion about that. But obviously, if you wanted something very specific for a cover and it was something that was beyond our ability to come up with, um, using the resources that we normally use for that, then that costs money. And our sort of driving intent as a publishing house is to not make the author pay for anything. We are a traditional publisher. That includes we don't ask you to pay for your cover art. But that means if we have to pay extra money to get special cover art, then that's going to come out of when you would get paid royalties after the book is published. So there are always extra considerations there, but cover art is its own process.
Wow. So we have with us another one of our followers, fans, friends, Baz. He's down under in Australia, and he has built himself a 1-to-1 scale Mark II Viper from the reimagined Battlestar Galactica in his garage, and he's just about finishing it up. And he's got his own website that he's been following over several years, the whole process. And what came to mind when we were talking about the covers and illustrations and stuff. I was like, imagine uh, if someone like that were to put together, an illustrated book on what it would be like to work something like that out over, the years, and
And
he's been
a
filming and
nonfiction book with with
yeah,
the what he, the how to do it or how he did it. That would I'd buy it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it
you heard
sounds like a
that,
really good
Baz?
memoir.
Yeah, Baz. We
I'd
might
buy
have
it.
a
It'd be like a
publisher for your book.
memoir and just kind of like a just, hey, why I did it and the
Yeah.
things that happened to me along the way, and yeah, that would be cool.
It would really be cool. So, I'm curious to know what is like the most daring book that you've taken on so far? Out of everything that you've gotten, what is the one that you said, you know what? I want to take a chance on something like this. What would that be?
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm pretty sure Jules will agree, and say Scapegoats is probably our most unusual book. Um, it is about talking goats, and it is about the goats from Leviticus and taking on the sins of the world and how they're working that off through good works, and it's insane. And all of the goats talk like little old Jewish men from New York. So, um, yeah, the goat looks at one of his humans and says, "Man, we just you got to stoop somebody." Like, and at that point, you just got to roll with it. It's a little insane, but it's a lot of fun. Um,
All right, cool. All right, that's a good one then. Excellent. I didn't think it was going to be that out there, but it sounds like it's fun. All right, cool. Very cool. So let
I love did you read this? Some goats can talk, and some people can hear them. And then it goes on. It says, "Can the goats and their god works clear the air, reunite the family, and finally make it to the great petting zoo?"
talk about goals. Gotta have goals, man. Some goals are simple. Get to that petting zoo, but for them, I'm sure it's not that simple.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. What? So tell us, like flat out, what are the genres that if you guys were to say, all right, you know what, if you were going to scale it out, I guess, all right, well, there's, like romance, and there's, murder mystery, and there's sci-fi, there's fantasy. What about nonfiction? Where does that fall with Golden Fleece?
Nonfiction is fine. We published a memoir, was that last year? Of an MMA fighter
Ooh.
who actually he ended up having a brain aneurysm when he was 26, and they told him he shouldn't fight anymore. And it's actually a really interesting book. You really get to see him grow and go through his entire life, and that's it. He's the blonde, and he is actually a coach now for MMA fighting.
Oh,
And
wow.
that was a really cool book. We are totally open to nonfiction. So memoir, cookbooks.
Really?
We have
Cookbooks.
a cocktail book. Yeah,
Wow.
Cookbooks take a while. I will warn you because you do have to test all of the recipes to make sure they work.
Oh wow.
Oh, no
So
kidding. So who
yeah,
gets to do
you
that?
have to
Mine
really,
almost fell over.
yeah. And Don't Wait, Create. That was actually a hand drawn coloring book. And Fables of the Dragon is actually translations of Chinese folktales that aren't
Ooh.
normally told in English. So that's actually really interesting. And then we have some of our press books there. So Creative Cocktails, we did drink a cocktail book twice.
Excellent.
Oh
I,
yeah, I'm gonna have
I
to get that one.
don't know if my liver will survive another one of those. So next time I'd like the mocktails instead.
Oh, I
And
see that
101 ways. Yeah.
there's Kate, that looks like there's a PDF version, so you can get, I guess,
Nice.
a PDF instead of if you just don't want the book, I
Mhm.
guess, right? That's cool.
Yeah, all of our books are available in PDF format and in print format. So
Nice.
we totally embrace new formats. It's the only way that I can keep my book habit under control. And anyone who knows me will tell you that that is an absolute lie. It's not under control at all. But ebooks make that a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
So the prompt book, actually, we recommend that as a Christmas gift for people. It's good for writing prompts or for drawing prompts or story prompts, however you want to take it. And it's got 356, I believe. So leap year.
360. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh wow.
I think it worked out as 366 because of just the way pages run.
Yes.
All right, that works. That's fair. That's pretty cool. We have one of our very, very good friends and supporters, Fran, superfan Fran Severn, who actually has published a book on uh,
Horses, horse
yes,
riding,
horses, yes,
horse riding.
writing, and
Is it
she's, I
riders of a
believe,
certain age? I
working.
believe is the name of the
Yeah,
book.
that's it. That's the name of the book. She's working on another one or a follow up, and she's been doing the circuit. And she's been writing fan fiction and Battlestar Galactica related stuff, and for decades and decades now. And she actually just wrote. She sent us a quick message, and she says, "Do you have instructions for submissions? How much marketing do you handle?" Two
There you
great
go.
questions.
Talk about leading right into the perfect thing, right? Did we pay her to do that?
Nice
You would
pitch,
think.
I'm not above taking a softball. We do have submission guidelines on the website, and
Mhm.
it's quite simply goldenfleecepress.com/submissions. That'll take you to our submission guidelines. We are open, although, word of warning, our reading time is close to the heat death of the universe uh, because we do have a lot of submissions that come in. Uh, but we are open, and we take all of our submissions through email. Uh, but we do, and I cannot stress this enough, we do actually take those guidelines as sort of gospel. Uh, Guidelines for us or for any other publishing house that you're working with are sort of a quick way to winnow through whether or not you're going to be able to communicate with people. So very basically, if you don't respect the publishing house enough to follow their instructions, or you can't understand their instructions, it actually gives the editors a rule of thumb to say, we might have a problem working with this person because they can't actually produce the things the way we're asking them to produce them. And that is general throughout any publisher. That's one of the things that they're looking at. And sometimes if you don't follow guidelines, they'll just delete you without even telling you that they're bouncing them back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You would think that that's common sense, right? That you would expect whoever is submitting to, yeah, obviously, it's not the case.
I mean, the list of things you would think are common sense, like don't be passive aggressive in your email to a publisher. Like, I wouldn't think that people need to be told that, but sometimes people need to be told that.
What a shame. Well, I guess they're going to learn one way or the other. If you don't get it and you're not reasonable, then it's they'll find somebody else, or they'll have to do it themselves, or do
Mm-hmm.
something like that, I guess, right? If I mean, I've heard that story told so many times from others, how it's you can't you these are the guidelines. You put them up there for a reason. You ask everybody to please look at these. This is part of the criteria. This is what we want you. So it's a form of a screening process. So if you do it, there's the next step, right? There's the step of, well, now you're going to look at what's been submitted, and it may not be in line with Golden Fleece. So that's another part of, right? So you can follow instructions, but that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be published, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. We're I mean, our reading time is so long because we get more submissions than we have people to work on projects. So that means that when we take a project because somebody wants to work on that project. It's not just about whether or not we think your book will sell, because the reality is that most of us can sell 15 copies to somebody, right? Like,
Right.
everybody has a book in them. And I know in writing circles, sometimes people are kind of snotty about the fact that everybody has a book in them. But I think that's genuinely true. I think everybody has some story to tell. You may not have more than one, but you probably have one. So we get a lot of submissions in. We only publish the ones that are projects that we actually want to work on.
All right, so Jules, I'll put you a little bit on the spot based on what you said. So in terms of the submission, you're looking for what we said before, right? You got to meet the criteria. You got to be able to follow instructions, or else that author's going to be so problematic, not worth the time. However, you mentioned something about how there's obviously got to be a reward of some sort, right? And we're talking about a market for that product, right? So if it doesn't look like there's a lot of life in that book, then you're obviously not going to take it on. Can you give us a little bit of that? What you meant by that?
I mean, I think that the joy of internet marketing is that at this point in time, none of us know what we're doing, right? It's that kind of idea that everybody's like, oh, well, I know how to market books because I marketed this one, and then Book Talk takes off the next week, and the rest of us are going, what on earth is going on?
Wow.
So I'm less concerned with how many copies I think a book can sell, because I think that's sort of through a long lens. We work on keeping costs low enough that I'm not really worried about that in the long term. I'm more worried about people that maybe your first book isn't going to sell a huge amount. But if I think you have more than one book in you, then I'm definitely willing to put the effort in to develop that relationship. And I think Fran had asked about how much marketing the publisher does. We do as much as we can. But the reality is that small press publishing, especially, people don't necessarily want to buy books from the publisher. They want to buy books from the author, right? So the largest part of what we do with marketing is sort of helping authors figure out what they need to be doing to marketing. And that's less about money and more about that sort of commoditized, I'm not going to get this word right, attention seeking that happens online right now, right? Where our 5 minutes to spend on TikTok, or I refuse to call it X, Twitter, or whatever, right? Like whatever 5 minutes you have is your coin to spend. So it's really important for authors to figure out where in that entire universe of potential sales, right, they're more likely to connect with people, and how to go about that. So when I look at a project, I'm not just looking at dollar signs. It's always a good thing to put on your cover letter that you have whatever giant social media following, or whatever market you already have in place to sell your book. But ultimately, what makes us decide to take a project is that we are interested in it. Um, the bones of the project are good. That doesn't mean it doesn't need work, right? I know, especially right now in publishing, we're in a place where people are in this headspace that somebody told me last week that people have decided that like an agent won't take your work unless it's absolutely 150% ready to go because they don't want to put the effort or the time in to get it ready. And that's not where we are as a publishing house, right? It can be absolutely very, very rough if the bones are good. And I think you'll be a joy to work with, then I will work with you. We have a children's book in right now that I honestly don't know when we're going to get to publication because we don't know we're working with a new illustrator and we don't know when the art's going to be done.
Oh,
And she's never illustrated a children's book before. So she doesn't really know how long it's going to take her to draw 35 different pictures for a book. So that's not a quick turnaround. That's not a question of marketing. That's not a question of how much I think this book is necessarily gonna sell in the end. That's a question of these are people that I think will be interesting to work with, who have something interesting to put out. And we're gonna work on developing a relationship and everybody learning and doing new things.
interesting. I find that so fascinating. I'm going to get the, I guess, the pink elephant in the room is Golden Fleece will put this obviously up on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, right? That's part of the big picture. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, we have distributed publication, so we're available worldwide as English copies. All of our books are available cross-platform, and we, pull the curtain behind. Amazon bought Ingram, which had an 80% market share for distribution.
Wow.
So Amazon basically owns distribution, um, unfortunately. But at the same time, that gives it a lot of power and a lot of access. We actually do have international sales. We have sales from Canada, India, China, um, I think Australia as well,
That's fantastic.
England. So we've got a worldwide sales platform, and we do sell worldwide. And that doesn't mean that we aren't also focused on trying to get ourselves into some of the smaller independent bookstores because we've found very good success. One of our local bookstores unfortunately didn't make it through the pandemic,
Ah,
Oh,
but we were having consistent sales of 10, 15 of our books on a monthly basis were selling because they were local author books, and that's very important to people as well.
all right. So, another question that I want to bring up is have how uh, have you worked with the idea of dealing with franchises and getting or is that something that you're not, are you open to, not open to? I mean, I guess it would be foolish to say, oh no, I don't want to work with a big movie name, but is that something that is feasible on your level
or on your
as
radar,
a,
yeah.
yeah, I'm just curious.
I would say currently it's not on our radar. Licensing fees are a thing.
Mm.
Okay.
And also, a lot of the big movie houses have established relationships with imprints.
Okay.
For example, um, if you're Paramount, you're going to go with, oh gosh, who was it? Who does all of the Star Trek books? They have an established
It's
relationship.
Random Penguin, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's
Is
Random Penguin now, but I think it's the
Random
imprint, one of the
Penguin.
imprints.
well, Penguin
Random
Random
House,
House.
I think,
yeah,
now that makes sense. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's one of their imprints that got gobbled up. I remember back in the day, I actually sent out a book synopsis, and I sent it out to a niche publisher, and then I got mail back from Random House, and it took me a while to figure out the chain of how those were actually connected. Um, but there are a lot of small imprints, things that appear to be like Golden Fleece Press, but actually, when you pull the curtain back, they actually belong to Simon and Schuster, Random House,
Tor.
and that
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, a lot of them are Amazon
So
based.
so does that mean that you guys, if the right check was in the mail, is that what's done as well? Is that something that, like,
Is
that
that how it works? Yeah.
potentially you guys would be bought out and then you'd move on and make another publishing house, or is that
I
something that's
mean,
done in the industry?
it is done in the
I think
industry.
that happens in the industry pretty frequently. I don't know that
Huh.
you'd have to offer me an awful lot of money. Like, I'm not in this for
Yeah,
the money anyway. Publishing is a terrible business to go into if you're looking to make a buck. I do not suggest it. You have to be here because you want to be.
Got to do it for the
But
love.
you'd have to offer me an awful lot. And if it was Amazon, I'm going to tack a couple of zeros on the end because I have so
yeah.
many opinions.
Have to be a lot of zeros on the end if it's Amazon. I'll be
Wow.
honest. But even
Wow.
Random Penguin, which is Penguin Random House, even if Random Penguin came a knocking tomorrow, that's not really on our radar screen as something we'd want to do.
Gotcha.
Because we've put our name and
Wow.
our reputation into this, and I don't want that to be commodified into something in New York with readers that we don't know. They treat our writers badly. You know, I
A
don't
lot of people choose a small press publisher because they don't want to go with. I don't think it is the big six anymore. I think that we're down to like three
Mhm.
major publishers now. Yeah. People don't want that relationship, right? They don't. They feel like they don't have any power in that. They feel like they don't have any ability to do anything with that. I tell people really frequently when we're talking about children's books that if you sell your children's book to Scholastic, right, they give you a check for $1,500 and tell you to go away. Like, that's the end of
Wow.
your relationship. You get no say, especially for a first book, especially if it's not, connected to the Marvel universe or something. For just a random children's book, you get your $1,500 and you get told to go away. And then maybe if it sells really, really, really well, they ask you to come back and you can get better terms on that second book. But the first book, you don't get to do edits, you don't get to
That's,
choose artwork, you don't
yeah.
get to have anything to do with that anymore.
And Pete, we mentioned something about that in the Netflix universe type thing. Similar.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole, digital world is doing a lot of that, and now there's a whole new model going on. How they, the cable, worked its way into remodeling the way, the channel system was on TV, and then streaming, did away basically with cable, and now after this whole SAG, there's going to be a whole new model that takes apart everything that's come before it, and it's all kind of similar. So it's very, very fascinating. I wanted to also ask, is there more appearances? Are you guys going to be coming out to other conventions, or you just where are we going with your with Golden Fleece in terms of the name, the brand? What are you guys up to?
Well, Saturday, right? Saturday, we're at Richmond Comic Con for the
Really?
one-day show this Saturday. So we will be there. We have a booth. If you're in the Richmond area, come say hi. Pitch us your book. If that's the thing you want to do, buy some books. We're there for all the things. And then, Kate, I'm blanking. I know we're on the list for Awesome Con, but we don't necessarily have a booth yet.
we haven't
And
heard
then
back from Awesome Con, and Telltale Con is April.
Telltale? Which
Telltale
one's that one?
Steampunk
Oh,
Telltale.
okay.
up in Baltimore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever go to like the other smaller ones like Shore Leave or Farpoint, or some of those the more regional smaller conventions, or is it not worth the time to go to the something that only draws in like 10 or 15, 20,000.
I mean, we've done holiday shows in the area that maybe get 12 people at them. So depending on like my over under on that is how much are you going to charge me for the table, and
There you go.
and
Yep.
do I have to travel, and do I have to buy a hotel room, and how far in the hole am I sinking to maybe
Right.
sell a few books? I'm sure you know, because you do conventions and stuff. Sometimes table fees are
Oh, yeah.
obscene.
Crazy.
Sometimes it's not just the table fee. It's like, oh yeah, we'll give you a table for free, but if you want electricity, it'll be $300.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
It's always fun. So we've done RavenCon in the past, which is a sort of Edgar Allan Poe
Poe,
themed
yep.
science fiction and fantasy
Baltimore.
convention. This is actually my off year for RavenCon, so I won't be there this year. I think we looked at doing Farpoint once, but it was the same weekend as GalaxyCon or something that year.
Yeah. When it comes down to the scheduling is the big
Yeah.
issue, because everybody wants their convention in the spring. And then about halfway through the year, we start being able to apply for conventions that are in the fall, and then trying to find like holiday shows or unusual places for us to be. Those sorts of things are also there. I have some contacts. I'm trying to get us on to one of the bases around here, but that's they have to invite you, and they have to think that you have something that their people are going to want. And that's not always books. The jewelry makers and the soap people have a much higher shot of getting invited, because
Different
let's be
products.
honest, husband walks into the PX and goes, "Oh, right, Christmas."
Yes, of course.
And they go over and they grab some jewelry and they grab some soap for their wife, and
Game over.
Yep. I noticed. You have a list of on your submission page. You have a submissions of particular interest.
Yes.
So would you what is a submission of particular interest for y'all, and why?
Basically, it's sort of things that we are interested in reading.
Okay.
So some of those are genres that we know well and can represent and understand the commonalities, the tropes, all of that sort of thing. But also, like, we're trying to grow certain areas, and that's another way that we would be interested in a book. Is it something new and different, something we haven't worked on before?
Mm-hmm.
That's also can end up on those lists. And some of those are very particular depending on who we currently have available as editors. Because editor availability changes over time.
Really?
Who do we have available to work on a project?
And we're all very, very weird people. So you can't, like, Kate can't edit the same book I can edit because we don't have the same interests. Like, I wind up with most of the children's books just because I'm the one with a kid. So I have the most experience with children's literature. So I do most of that. But, like, if you send us a horror book, that is not my bag at all. So if Kate doesn't have time to edit it, then that doesn't necessarily mean we won't take it. It just means that we have to be upfront with you and be like, the editor for this project has other things, and it may be next year. So,
well, listen, there's nothing wrong with being honest and upfront, right? I mean, and you guys openly communicate. You said there's these big other publishers that don't do that. They're not open, or they just, in some cases, they'll take you, cut your check, and then you're gone. I know that in academic publishing, it's the same thing. If you have your, one of your first, or not even, but especially on your first, you go to one of these academic publishers, they take away all your rights, and they'll cut you a small check, and they can put it on the shelf and never even distribute the work itself. and that's all you got. You have no recourse. You can never take it back. I understand from some of the conversations that we had at the convention that your model is definitely different than that. Can you just quickly tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, just a really quick rundown. We do for normal books, so not like graphic novels. If you wrote the entire thing and did all the pictures, that would constitute a normal book. So for normal like science fiction books, we do 50% net of print copies is royalty payment, and 50% of gross on digital copies is royalty payment. So that means whatever we sell your book for, half of what comes in the door for those sales after we've paid for printing costs and everything goes to you.
That sounds fair.
Run, yeah, like we run sort of standard contract terms. We're really happy to line all of that out for people when we get to that phase. They're not a forever contract. You can ask for your rights back at some point if you want them. We're not interested in keeping anybody here if they don't want to be here.
Cool. That's very, very important. And it's not that doesn't work with so many of the independent, smaller publishing houses don't operate like that for those that are still around. But no, that's admirable. That's great. So, guys, look, everybody that's watching, and we have a lot of our fans and supporters that watch IFB in rerun, so they'll watch it after it goes out live. This is an opportunity for all of you that are writers that have a product you guys have written. Many of you have written, and you're looking for a way to get yourselves published. So if you have original material and it's finished, and you think that it's worthy, well, this is an opportunity. It's here, and Golden Fleece is a legitimate smaller publishing house that is open, guys, which is not the same for the others that are out there. And I'm really happy and proud to have you guys on our show, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing you both again at Awesome Con. So Kate and Jules, thank you very, very much for the follow up. Right, we talked about you guys coming back and then telling us more about what's going on, and we look forward to having you back again. Right, if not at the convention for whatever reason, we definitely want to have you back. And who knows, from now till then, hopefully there'll be more successes. That's what we want to. Right, we want to push the fact that you're out there and you're doing the right thing, and we really appreciate your time and thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Great pleasure. So, guys, make sure that if you get a chance, take a quick look at Golden Fleece. They have various books that you can get either directly and or on Amazon, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I will say if you buy from us, people get more money.
Sounds
excellent.
Good.
Very good point.
Everybody but Amazon gets more money if you buy from us.
Ta-da. Cool. And your website, one more time?
Is goldenfleecepress.com.
Excellent. Again, thank you very, very much, Kate, Jules. Thanks again. Looking forward to seeing you again. If not, like I said, at the con, then definitely here at IFB. We definitely want to have you back again. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been great seeing you again. And once again, I think this gives us an outlet for a lot of our followers to be able to go to somebody, at least for a first shot at publishing something. I mean, we've got a lot of people who would love to do publishing, and this finally fills that void. We always talk about it, and I think gives us the opportunity to talk to somebody who can help us get that book published. So
we're always happy to talk about books.
Yep. So here's to you guys. You're fueling the fleet by creating new and new stories and helping people put their stories out to the people. So here's to you, fans for the fleet. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Take care. All right.
Take care.
So, it's really, I always get a kick out of the fact that we meet up with, all kinds of interesting, uh, whether it's behind the scenes people, whether talk about the publishers, right? We
Right.
just spoke to Kate and Jules, who are the owners of Golden
Right.
Fleece, right? They're not the front people for it, so it's really cool. We meet all these fascinating people in various, professions that are, that have something to do with what we're into, which is, the science fiction element.
Right.
And then,
yeah.
And then we have them come back, which is cool. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's great that, once again, but I really see this as a opportunity for a lot of our people out there, that it's something that, I mean, we're not making any money off of this or anything like that. We don't want you to believe that, hey, we get 10 people to go to Golden Fleece Publishing. It's not us. But we do believe that there are a lot of stories out there that people write and they put on fandoms or they put whatever that could be put out in a format as a book. You could actually have your own book. I mean, a lot of people have that dream and just don't know how to get there. I believe Golden Fleece or these two people have the capability of getting you there. Even if it's a small, this is your first step in the door. This is your first. They will help. I think they sound like they're more fans of this than anything else. I think they're excited to do something for the whole genre, or the whole. I know genre is not the right word, but for the whole fandoms. People who want to put a book together can reach out to somebody and know where to go now. I mean, I can't count how many Facebook sites we have that we are familiar with that have a story. Somebody writes a story or a fanzine or whatever. Those can be converted. I mean, once again, we do know that
isn't that
some
something?
things are owned by something, but if you change your story a little bit and submit it, I mean, what can it hurt? I mean, this is an opportunity. I think we now give you a look into a place to put it. Write your story. Write whatever it may be, from science fiction to children's book to whatever. I mean, it could be erotica for that matter. So write something that if it's something that you're passionate about and you wrote it, it doesn't have to sit on a shelf anymore.
Right.
Go to somebody who can look at it and go, yeah, this is something that might work, or no, this is what you can do to make this happen. So I think this is almost like almost a service. I mean, I know that they want to make books and publish books, but I think it's almost a service of the way they talk is like they really want to help people. I think that's very important to reach out and say, look, I want to help you create a book. I want to help you put a book online. I want to help you do this stuff, not all to benefit me or anything like that, but to actually get your book out there. I think really they have
very
that.
Cool.
I feel that from them when they talk. I feel like that they're actually caring
sincere.
About your they're sincere and they care about your idea, your book, your fantasy. I think that's cool. So
I just confirmed that we're going to have actually another guest. So Chris, be prepared for Mr. Bran Stimson's coming
tonight?
from Starfleet, and he's going to give us our Star Trek.
I got to push him a whole lot more buttons now. Thanks a lot. What do you got, Pete?
Check it out.
I want you to cut those and make it fit. Go ahead and cut those out.
I'm not cutting them.
What?
I'm not cutting them.
But
these
they're
are
not the same. You got to cut them out and stand them up.
Number 16 in a series of 16 Big G serial premiums. Battlestar Galactica, 1978. and that's what the back looks like. And
Instructions.
there was,
Turn it back over again.
yeah, okay, well, I can show you. Yeah, okay, there you go.
It said instructions. What does it say? Instructions.
Just cut it out.
Cut along dot. See, you have to cut along the dot.
Yeah, not happening.
You got to cut
not
those.
Happening. Not happening.
I dare you.
These are
I dare you
rare.
to cut those.
Very rare to find.
Yeah, but they're
this
even
is
better
like-
when they're cut and
Look at
put
that.
up right.
Near mint condition. Can you see a little bit of the paper still on there? So
But
I
you gotta cut 'em.
have 2 of the 4 of these. So there's 4 of these.
Which ones are you
cut
missing?
out. There's the other 2. One of them, I believe, is I think it's the Damas in them. But I have 4 of the others. So now I have 6. So I'm missing 10 of them. They're really hard to find.
Wow.
So yeah. Lola says no, don't cut. I will not, Lola.
Ah.
I'm not cutting. Not
Come
cutting.
on,
They're so
Lola,
cool,
back me
though.
up here. I mean, you want to
Look at
see
that.
these things
So
actually
cool,
work. You got to
right?
cut them. I mean,
No, not being
seriously, Pete, if you look at those things and where it's dotted line
Man,
where you cut them
Stop it.
and the
Show
fold
me the-
piece, that doesn't.
Show
that
me
doesn't-
the costume that you got. Stop
that
talking
doesn't,
nonsense.
I mean, look at those.
Show me
If
what-
you look at the fold line, that doesn't even look like it would be right. Even if you folded it up,
Will you
like the
just
legs
show
would be
me what
down
you got?
on the.
Get out of here.
That would be weird looking to begin with if you did cut it. I mean, like where the fold
There-
line is, it's underneath. How would you fold
Go
that
get
to
the
make
box.
it look?
Go get
Go
the
with
box.
what
Yes,
box?
Charlene. See,
I mean, this
Charlene
huge
and
box
Lola.
behind me.
Yeah, come on, man. Paul says no cut. We acquired. Well, Chris acquired a really, really a really cool costume, and so I think that it would be really cool if he shows it to us, because it just basically, I think he just came in.
Yep.
And it is phenomenal, guys. It
I'm gonna
really,
say,
really is.
Uh,
It's from back in the day.
back in the day.
It's easily 35 years old, and for whatever reason,
I want to say thanks, Jerry. Jerry, you are an awesome person, and
yes,
thank you for putting this up for availability. So I'm just going to start out with the first part of it.
yeah. Jerry said that he wanted someone that would. He wanted to go into the hands of a fan. He wanted it to be in the hands of a fellow fan. He was cleaning up stuff, and so he decided that you guys may have seen, some of you may have seen the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what that's from?
So,
Right?
here's your
I
first
mean,
hint.
duh.
And I want to say this is amazing, by the way. It's good quality. Somebody who
Hey,
really
Janet,
did a
thanks
lot
for
of
coming
work
in.
on this.
Yeah, look at that.
It's definitely
All right.
hard collar. Does anybody know who it is?
Come on, you guys. Come on. Look at that. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah, I would
That's-
I love the next part. That's just amazing. But
Yeah, it is.
This is
But it's
so I've
all
done.
right, come on. Somebody's got to tell us who it is. Come on,
Nobody
guesses.
said. Nobody guessed. Jeez.
Hold it up.
little
Lola says,
heavy, by
"Hold
the
it
way.
up." Lola, that's the collar. What do you think? What do you think a collar like?
Can I get
there?
that around my
Yeah,
neck?
put it on.
Ugh, I don't know if I can get it around my
Come
neck with
on,
my
man.
headphone on.
Oh, so Kim says Imperious Leader. That's a
I
good
wish.
guess. However, Paul, of course, Commander Kane, identified it immediately. Lucifer dress uniform.
Yes.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Flash Gordon. Lola says it was a Flash Gordon.
I wish. That's another good one. I love Flash
That's a
Gordon.
good one. Rob says it's Lucifer. Yes, it's
Yes.
Lucifer. Bring it ahead. Bring up the head.
ready?
So now, wait till you see the rest of this. Unfortunately, it's been in
sucker is
in
heavy.
storage. Look at this. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh man, can you turn it on?
Not yet. I haven't figured out the. There's a lot of electronics that
Okay.
was put into it that I have to figure out a little bit. So
Oh, cool.
there's
Very cool.
connectors and everything else I'm gonna have to look at. I literally just unboxed
Yeah.
this today. I was
Very
really
cool.
impressed with the way he designed it for wear, because
Put it
you know,
on. Lola says, "Put it
I don't know if I
on."
can put it on right now. I mean, it goes.
Put it on.
I got my headphones on. It's not going to work right. Yeah. Anyways, it goes like this. My head's. It's not going to work with my headphones on. But ow, ow, ow. Not going to work with headphones on.
Oh, it's so cool.
I don't know how. I
Oh
want to
my
know how. Yeah, I got to look up, find out how he did the dome.
The dome.
Which is just
Don't break it. Put it away
beautiful.
now. Put it back. Put it back.
That's
so cool. All right. Well, we're gonna have
beautiful
Bran.
dome.
I think is you got to look to see because I think he's all right. Stop that. That's obscene. And
what, you don't like my dome caressing?
yeah, no.
I mean, it's got really tight lines too.
It's
I mean,
really cool.
really
Bran,
tight lines. I mean, I did my Lucifer, but I think this one has tighter lines.
No, that one looks. Yeah, this one looks.
This one's
really
got tighter
cool.
lines. I mean, mine's good, but this one's got
Yeah.
the clear dome and the stuff on the inside, and it's got much tighter lines. What do you got, Pete?
I got. This is my reading material, and you should look
Reading
for Bran
material?
because I think he's on. Yeah, I happen to be.
I'll get with
This is
Bran.
what I'm
Hang on.
reading. All right, I picked these up just recently. In the last 2 weeks, I got this one and then the other. So these are time travel related. I'm looking at that, and I'm watching Bodies, which is really really cool. And for those of us that collect non-sports cards, this just came in the mail today, and it's interesting because I read some comments online about the fact that there seems to be less and less collectible cards and stuff, and I was like, yeah, not as many as there were in the past, but there still
is there
are
new cards for the Strange New
plenty.
World?
Oh yeah,
Really?
oh yeah.
I can't afford that.
They're awesome, and they have autograph cards in them. And I mean, look at that, Pee Wee Herman. There's a bunch of stuff that's coming out on a regular basis, and we're going to have one of the publishers for one of the cards that we met at the non-sports card show is going to be coming on our show, and he'll be giving out sets of cards. This is what came with these are inserts that came with the magazine, so that's pretty cool. There's an ancient Egypt thing. Look at this, ancient Egypt coming soon for Christmas, Chris. There's a whole thing on ancient Egypt. Look at that.
I like ancient Egypt stuff.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. And then there's this one. Look at this one. Look at that.
That looks
UFO
almost
stuff.
like what's the
That's pretty cool.
X-Files.
UFO. Yeah, exactly. So that's happening, guys. I figured I just got it in the mail. I want to share it with you guys. And
We have Brand ready.
all right, cool. Let's bring on Bran. Is going to give us a Star Trek update because you got to have
His
this.
audio.
Hey,
Hang on.
Bran, what's up, my man? All right. let's see.
Hang on. Audio's
Oh,
not
hold
on.
on. Let's
something
get
I
with
haven't fixed
Uhura.
yet.
With
Hang on.
Uhura. Can you
What
hook that
did
up
you
with
fix?
us?
Am I
There we
broken
go.
again?
There we go. Now we're good.
Yeah.
Am I broken?
Yes.
I'm not broken?
They're not
Not
broken.
broken.
Great.
No.
Good to not be broken. Good to not be broken.
Bran, what's up, man? Welcome
Hey,
back
guys,
to
how we
IFB.
doing?
Good. What's
I
cooking?
really want to see Tipsy with the Lucifer head on.
It wouldn't fit with my headphones on, but it definitely
use
messed
the
up my hair.
headphone excuse. Yeah, use the headphone excuse. It's okay.
Wouldn't want to mess up the hair. It's beautiful. man.
Now the truth comes out. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Hold your locks
Admiral,
there.
Admiral, next time you got to come on and you got to give him an order. See, like you just made it too kind of like if wishy-washy. Next time you got to come in and order him to do it. And
Order
then
him to
maybe
do it. Okay, I'll try. to remember
I
it.
am impressed with the way that he designed it for it to sit on the shoulders because mine doesn't fit that well.
Oh,
I really like.
yours is
I
a
might have to
mess.
redesign. No, mine works. It's not a mess. It's really good. But
the robe is a mess. The arms, you can't get the arms to
well,
come out.
that was a
It's all
mistake.
whatever.
Because it
Sure
happens.
it was. Sure it was.
Yeah.
All right,
It
guys.
happens.
Well, how we doing? I mean, it's been a while. A couple
Yeah.
months, I think.
It's funny because it's funny because I just started rewatching the original series.
Did you now?
Yes,
We started watching Deep Space Nine again because I got bored.
No. Yeah, I just started with the actual original series, and it's they upscaled it with on Amazon or whatever else, and it's like, wow, look at all the makeup and plus it's
The great sets and the styrofoam rocks.
yeah, and it was I think it was yesterday I was watching, it was I want to say episode 4 or 3 with the dog. dressed up.
Oh yes,
with a unicorn
with a
horn on it,
head,
and
yep. Sulu's stuck on the planet because he's too cold. Yep.
yeah. So it was and that was the transporter accident where they split, and
Yep.
of course they redone that thing like 5, 7, 8 different times, and different. The transporter accidents happen at least.
Oh, there's always a trans. I mean, honestly, like my wife is one of the ones that likes to complain about the transporter because like it spreads out your molecules all over the place.
Yeah.
How do you know it's all yours that come back together again on the other side, right? I mean,
right.
It works on TV. It's great.
Yeah.
It works on TV.
It's a great concept.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Awesome. Enemy Within.
Fun.
That's right. Yes,
it
look,
works for a budget because we don't have the budget to show a ship flying around, so we'll just
fly
down.
down. Yeah.
Literally, I watched Charlie X the other day, and
Charlie X, is a good one.
Charlie X was a good one. And then I can't remember the one where the guy wore the contacts that were like,
where
chrome.
no man has gone before.
What the heck was that? Was that?
Oh yeah, Gary. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. You
Gary
could have
Wickman.
watched the first. It depends. So yeah.
So
But anyway, guys.
But actually rewatching it, I'm like, these were for the time. These were really amazing stories, really amazing, ideas. Really amazing. I know. I mean, you look at it now, you say, it's kind of hokey. It's got a dog dressed up, but really amazing props. Really amazing. They really did. They really went out. I mean, if you go back and appreciate that, so. I really, I go back and rewatch Star Trek. I mean, go for it.
Absolutely. And for a show that didn't have a budget, what they did, and then
oh yes, that's the one with. I just watched that one.
Yeah, that's the one you were just talking about. Contact. That's pretty sweet. But I mean, you got to think about it, right? I mean, first off, everybody is like, well, Gene did a great job with Star Trek, but you really got to really thank Lucille Ball, right, and Desilu Studios.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't for her, there'd be no Star Trek on top of Gene.
And then from what I understand, she didn't even know what it was.
No. But I mean, it's great. And the stories were fantastic. And you think about it today, and you wouldn't get half those stories on the TV nowadays because you defend somebody here or there, or I mean, there's the Ahura and Kurt Kiss and the Bread and Circuses, I think is the episode title, which some call the first interracial kiss on TV, and some say, well, maybe not, but it's still
probably the first prime time.
Yes.
Right.
And you listen to the story behind that, like the director didn't want to film it. They were going to cut away, but Shatner held the kiss too long, so they couldn't cut away. I don't even know how that works, but whatever. Like, it's hilarious to hear the stories about how some of the stuff got past everybody at the time. So, I mean, the stories are great. And Star Trek has done that all the way through the years. I mean, even till today, there's still some of those great stories that you see in Discovery. I mean, we have, Adira. Oh, not Adira. That's not her name. What the heck's her name? I haven't watched Discovery in so long. It's been forever. Blue Desario is the actress, but I mean, it's great to have all the inclusion and all the stories in Star Trek, and really kind of led the way for all that to happen in other TV shows. So that's fantastic. I mean, not a lot going on currently, though, right? I mean, we're luckily out of all the strikes for writers and actors, so hopefully that means shows will get back on track and catch up. It'll be a little bit of a lag, I'm sure, but I mean, Disco season 5, the final season is supposed to be out sometime early next year.
The final season.
The final season. They had to go back and refilm a whole bunch, so I believe it's done. But we're waiting for that. Obviously, we just heard Star Trek Prodigy got picked up by Netflix.
Yes.
So that's great. You'll be able to see the entire season 1. I think it's Christmas it's dropping on Netflix.
Yep.
And then probably not long after that, you'll see the completed season 2 that's been completed for a while now. I don't know why you cancel a show that is already done a second season. I don't understand that, but whatever. I don't work for Paramount or Nickelodeon or whatever, so
not
make
yet.
those decisions.
Not yet.
Not moving to California. Remote maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
But so that's what we're waiting for. I mean, now that everybody's back, hopefully we'll get the next season of Strange New Worlds, as you were talking about a minute ago with their cards. That's been greenlit, so that's next. And the Academy the writer's room is probably back in session, so hopefully that can get back in production and start moving. And then we have the Section 31 TV movie, I guess we'll call it.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Michelle Yeoh.
Is there is there a teaser for that yet?
No. That
didn't
probably
think
would
so.
be by now if they didn't go on strike for the last 8
I
months
thought
or 7
so.
months, whatever it was. But just a picture of Michelle Yeoh as Giorgio in her black Section 31 outfit from the season of Discovery, I think is probably it. And then of course we're all hoping that there'll be an announcement soon that Terry Matalas and Paramount have decided that Star Trek Legacy should be a thing, and we'll see 7 and 9 on the Enterprise G, and we'll all be happy to rejoice.
Hell yeah.
And have fun. That's hopefully what's coming. I'm not sure if it will or will not. I mean, that's how we got Strange New Worlds was, they brought Pike on for, I think that was season 2 of Discovery, and everybody liked him, and everybody liked Ethan Peck as Spock. And
fantastic, yeah.
And then they were like, let's make a show. And a fantastic show. Although I was just discussing this with my first officer in the Tiburon about the quarters. I would really like Pike's quarters in my apartment, please. That is the best. That is the best quarters I think I've ever seen in Star Trek. I mean, he's got a fireplace, a full kitchen.
Yeah, full kitchen. Yeah,
I just want that. I want that in my apartment. Let's just make that in my apartment. I'll be happy. And it's all actually a real set, so that's even nicer. It's not even like fake. Although
I'm surprised they haven't come out with the Pike cookbook yet.
Not yet. I'm sure they will.
Cookbook, that'd be great too. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd buy that as long as there don't have any Vulcan dishes in it. But,
no Klingon dishes.
Well, those you really cook those. Gah. You just go out, dig up your yard, get some worms, and put them in a bowl and
protein
teriyaki sauce on them. Yeah, protein. Yeah. I guess I'll be exposed to that next weekend. So the Tiburon next weekend is doing the first annual, I guess, inaugural event for Galacticon here in Denver on Thanksgiving weekend. So instead of beating up on TV for TVs on Black Friday, I'll be setting up a booth and dressing like this. Yay. I don't know why they picked Thanksgiving weekend. It looks like it's working out for them. I mean, they have Terry, I wish. Todd Stashwick, Denise Crosby, Rick Morty, Jesse. God, what's Jesse's name? I don't remember Jesse's name. I'm failing my geek role. She played a bad guy in brain stop. Strange New Worlds. Wow. That was painful. That's what happens after a day of work, right?
Yeah, you'll remember it as soon as you go off the air.
James Patel.
I got it.
Yes.
Just pull out my handy dandy phone.
Yes.
Beat you to it there, toaster.
Yes.
A whole bunch of people. I mean, there's a bunch of people going there. I'm excited for Todd Stashwick. I think he did great as Shaw. And since the strike is over, he can talk Star Trek. No more silly weird conversations.
He was good in 12 Monkeys, though.
I actually never watched 12 Monkeys. I know
it's good.
I'm yelled at now. There are people in my house right now.
Oh my God, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what got Terry into back to Star Trek, so I guess I should probably watch it because Terry does great stuff. Oh yeah, J.G. Hertzler's going to be there. I mean, there's just a long list of people, and it's pretty cool.
We interviewed JG at the Star Trek Long Island convention, John and I. So great guy. If you get to see him mentioned, drop by FB on him. Hopefully he'll remember us. But yeah, really, really nice guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's supposed to. The local Klingon group, House of Vampire is their name, are sponsoring his trip out here. So I'm sure we'll be drinking. I met JG many years ago in Las Vegas at a slanted fedora convention, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Back when that was still around.
Yeah.
And he picked on me because I didn't know my name. I didn't know my name. And it's Celtic for Raven. I didn't know that at the time. So he wouldn't sign the autograph until I went and found out. So I actually had to go to a payphone. Yes, that's back in the payphone days.
Called
my mom and asked her where the hell my name came from so I could get this autograph.
That's cool.
So that helped. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. JG's awesome.
That's a
so
story.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to hang out with those guys. And
Brian-
Galacticon is trying to replace Starfest or StarCon, depending on how old you are in Denver area, which was a 45-year running fan run convention that just ended last year.
Oh, wow.
The family just didn't want to do it anymore. It was a lot of work, and so they stepped back. And then Michael, who's running Galacticon, kind of stepped up. He was on their staff and involved in many of the conventions here in Denver. He helped start Denver Comic Con, which is now Fan Expo.
Yes.
So he's got some good standing in the community. So, and he's put together a great show. The weekend I questioned, but hey, Fan Expo is 4th of July weekend here in Denver.
Yeah.
So I can't pick on Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanksgiving weekend.
It's not a bad idea. If you don't want to go to Walmart and fight for a cheap TV, you can go to the DTC Marriott there and see all these great stars. And
they're all so all the big cons have their own. So Dragon Con is Memorial Day. And then it's people have those days off. So I guess.
Yeah, I think the best Denver Comic Con / Fan Expo / Denver Pop Culture Con, whatever it was called that year, was Father's Day weekend. They did it 2 or 3 times on Father's Day weekend, and it was packed. Because all the kids wanted to bring their dads to the convention, and it was just crazy those weekends. 4th of July isn't bad. It gets a little crazy, but the con this year in July is 4 days because of the holiday. So it's not just 3 days, it's 4 days. So we'll be there, I assume. I'm still waiting to hear, but
you get back. You get back out there, Pete. That was a fun con.
It was.
That was one of the.
Really
that was one of the very. That and Knoxville were the 2 cons that had the most Battlestar Galactica related merchandise that we could find.
It was fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bran, you have a special greeting. Late hello to Admiral Bran and all on behalf Region 1 USS Gorkon XO James McCoy, soon to be the CEO the end of this month.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Hey, James, how we doing? Fantastic. I guess I got to make some database changes before when that happens, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Just tell the computer. Isn't that?
I wish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Computer.
I'm the other side of that computer when they tell the computer. I'm the backside of that.
Make that change, please. We will now promote.
Yeah. So the brand's got to be on. Yeah, brand. Yes.
Got to click some buttons there for Starfleet.
No kidding. Kim says Labor Day, not Memorial. So
sorry. Yep, you're correct. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I always get those 2 confused.
Everybody gets stuck on that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
Kim's right.
Rand, thank you
Kim.
very, very much for taking the time out. We had
anything? Any news?
Yeah.
Any more news?
Is there any insider stuff that you might be? Charity. Tell us about charity, Brand. What's going on with the charities?
Well, so we're gearing up for next year. Like, this is the downtime,
right? Any new tribbles? That's what I want to know.
We are planning tribbles. They're on the drawing board. I should be ordering the fabric, I don't know, sometime in the next few days, because next month we start making them. We are adding a new line, though, to supplement the tribbles. We're not replacing tribbles. They will still be these big guys that are back here. But one of our members, some people usually come up and they're like, well, that's really big. Do you have something smaller? So we got the idea to pick up some tribble keychains. Those will be available starting at Galacticon. Because right now, if you went into our storage unit and you got into the 5 giant bins we have for the tribbles, you would see like 25 tribbles, all looking like Shatner toupee.
What do you mean, crawling around on the floor and running away?
Color to make a tribble out of, to be honest. Although it is screen accurate.
There you go.
But
I have a screen accurate tribble behind me.
And stuff like that, and some fabric colors, some crazy colors, because those sell fast too. But hopefully we'll get those out in time for the start of con season, which for us is in April. So it's not a lot of time to make a bunch of tribbles, but we'll see how the tribble keychains go. And of course, all the money goes to well, not all the money. So the proceeds go to charity. We take some of the money off the top to make those things because they're expensive.
Yes.
But we enjoy making them. We're going to start in December. But so probably the next time I see you guys, I might have some new colors and some new talks and all that other fun stuff.
Tease.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
that's about it.
Thank you, Admiral, for coming on, and happy Thanksgiving. Because
Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Although I'll
That's
be
right. It's
loading a
coming
truck to go
really
set up a
fast.
display, so I'm not going to have too much turkey.
Yeah.
But hey,
yeah,
it's fandom. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
it's-
that's right. Come on, that's what we do.
We
But thank
actually,
you
Joe, so we're sharing a display room with the Star Wars groups, the Mandos, the 501st, the Rebel Legion. And I had this idea.
You're crossing
for
the streams, sir.
yeah, well, no, the Ghostbusters aren't going to be there. They're not going to be there. But I had this idea for a while about putting a big banquet table in the middle and all of us sitting down and having that big Star Wars, Star Trek Thanksgiving banquet. But
no,
that didn't get too far. That's too much time.
Somebody gets shanked in the hallway.
yeah,
Probably. Yeah. Nah, we're friends with those guys out here. We love our Star
You may
Wars
be
country.
friends, but hey,
yeah.
Star Wars is Star Wars, mister.
No, they don't have Cylons. They're fine. The droids are okay. It's fine.
Oh boy, Brand, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it, and we look forward to having you come back next month, December. So
Absolutely.
Stop in, let us know, give us the update at the very least, a little bit of an after action at the con. You'll tell us more about the triples and the charity keychains, yeah, and where everybody can get them.
Yep.
Right, very important to support the charities.
I need a
So
triple
thank you,
keychain
thank
for
you,
sure.
thank you. Looking forward to the next one.
Sure you guys know they're not up on the website yet because I think the box just came in. They look like squares because they're stuffed in a box, but we got to fluff them up and get them ready. So they'll be on the website at some point, hopefully before Christmas, so that we can get that Christmas sale.
Yes.
Perfect.
It should be Black Friday.
Live long and prosper, Brand.
Triple Thursday.
Yeah, convention. Live long and prosper,
Take
guys.
care.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thanks a
Happy
lot.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
You
Thanksgiving.
too. Awesome. All right. So listen, guys. We had the publishing, the Golden Fleece, right? Press, and it was great.
Busy night.
Yeah, Katie and Jules came, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved hearing from them. So much opportunity, guys. I mean, talk about a publishing, house.
There's no excuse now. If you have a book and you want it, and you think, this would be great to have it, people, you have no excuse. Reach out
That's
to
right.
them.
It's there.
See how they can help you. I mean,
Right.
and they sound like they really want to help. So do it. I mean, that's all there is. Oh, I guess we can say just do it. So
yeah, just do it. So that's cool. And then of course, Brand taking his time out. I know a lot of times, Brand is doing updates with Starfleet. They do a lot of Zoom calls on Thursday. So a lot of times he's jumping from doing the Star Trek updates for Starfleet and for their district because he's one of the head honchos, and then he jumps over to us. So thank you, Brand, for doing that. We appreciate it. We're big fans of all the sci-fi, Star Wars and Star Trek, and we're blessed that we have those. Yeah. We that they come on and they're officially repping and giving us the inside scoop. So thank you for that. TSW, Chris, we're making it happen. So just be patient with us, guys. Things are happening.
I gotta post. And, I screwed up last week, so I gotta post the different video
trailer
on YouTube.
Yeah. We're gonna do the
incorrect.
So we're gonna swap it out. That'll be swapped out. So stay tuned. I know a lot of you, to the tune of a few hundred, watch that. Really cool. So stay tuned because we're going to have the updated teaser trailer. So the one that's on YouTube is the first run. That was the actual, believe it or not, the prototype. And now we're going to have the official teaser trailer in high resolution on YouTube. And by the way, I'll tell you this much. With the help of one of our editors, Jay Rice, we actually have been graced with some of the scenes, some of the bigger scenes in The Stranded Warrior, and there's been color correction done on those scenes, and it just looks phenomenal. So thank you for doing that, Jay, for us. And so we're going to be turning that around to our CG team, and we actually are looking to bring on a new CG artist that I believe has volunteered to come on. And I know that Chuck Davenport and Chris Marshall, who head our team, they're working with somebody, and it's just for the betterment of our special effects. So that's happening. So there is a lot that's going on in the background, guys. Making a fan film or any movie itself is complicated. It has a lot of moving parts, and just be patient with us, and we will eventually. You'll see. You'll get to see what we mean when I tell you that it's all worth the wait.
It definitely is. I mean, we put a lot into this, so we don't want we don't want you to think that it's going to die, because it's not.
Yep.
So we put a lot into it, so it's just taking some time. That's all there is to it. we stumbled into some problems, and we're stumbling our way out of them.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly it. But there is movement. So
Yes.
Thank you everybody for tuning in to Interfleet Broadcasting. We look forward to seeing you up again. Everybody that joined us
Next
live,
Thursday.
so cool of you, and everybody else that sees us in rerun or syndication. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you give us the like.
Yes.
And make sure you subscribe. So, guys, before you
And
leave,
follow.
please go in
Yep.
and press the like button or the heart button. Appreciate that. And make sure you're subscribed. And we hope to see you again next week, or again, like I said, in rerun. And I don't know, stay safe. Enjoy the holiday if you are celebrating Thanksgiving.
We'll probably do a quick Thanksgiving broadcast. We won't be doing a full broadcast on Thanksgiving, because the imperious leader would not appreciate that.
Correct. So
on both ends of ours. So
yes. So I believe what we're going to do is, like we've done in the past, guys, we will send out a small message on that Thursday. So I think we may end up pre-recording a small, like we've done in the past. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Have a great, safe holiday with those that you hold dear. We give thanks for IFB and for you guys, and of course for all the sci-fi. We love sci-fi, and
you guys are amazing. Thanks for being there for us, and we want to be there for you. So keep continuing to fuel the fleet, and we will see you next Thursday. So take care.
Yep.
Fans fuel the fleet.
Take care, guys. Fans fuel the fleet.